but still, they're going to do very, very well. I think that a combination of perhaps 30% or 20% silver coins, like junk 90% bags or American silver eagles, would be good, and the rest should be, I think, in a combination of numismatic as well as bullion coins. And if you can vary bullion coins by getting 1 ounce and half ounce and quarter ounce, 1/5 of an ounce, 1/10 of an ounce, that would be good too.
Well, it is sometimes, depending on how much you're looking to purchase, because the smaller you go in the size of your coin, the more you're going to pay in your gold. The more you're going to pay
That's
in your
true,
gold. So
and that's a sacrifice to an extent.
Depending on what the situation
make
is.
in order to get that diversification.
Well, to me, but buying diversification in fractional pieces really doesn't give you much. You get smaller pieces and you pay more for your gold. I think it's important to have them. But again, it's all relative. I mean, I have people who want to come in and spend $75,000 on 10-ounce maple leaves, and that, to me, that's probably not the best thing to do. You're better off.
No, I agree with that, but you do need some small pieces.
Absolutely.
If you have to go to barter, and that's what I was trying to point out.
Absolutely.
I didn't give you any percentages on that because everybody's different. The letter that you have there pertaining to silver, which the gentleman asked you to talk about on the air.
Let me bring it up here. He's interested in facilities to store silver, and then he goes on to explain the specifics of his situation. They have decided on purchasing silver since there is no history of confiscation. They have sold their home and are moving to Canada, and they're going to rent until the crash. So they have close to $2 million that they want to have in silver, but want to have access to it if they have to fly out to avoid the upcoming vaccination. He wants to know if we have any opinions on reputable storage companies, and they want to be able to have access to the metal but maintain a freedom of movement.
Well, first of all, silver, $2 million worth of silver is one hefty lot. And if you're going to live in Canada, you'll have to find what the rules are if you purchase the silver in the United States of moving that silver into Canada. Either that, or you'll have to wire funds to Canada and buy your silver there. And being that your silver is there, then you would have to find a private depository where you could keep it. And you certainly couldn't keep it at home because that's a tremendous amount. I do not, under any circumstances, recommend buying that much silver. I don't know what it weighs, but it's got to be a tremendous load for $2 million. And besides, the silver is far more volatile than gold, and for that very nature, and it's not a monetary metal, I would buy perhaps 20% silver or 30% and put the rest in gold coins of one form or another, or gold bullion if you choose. I think that when you have that much money to invest, you should also consider the shares. And if you're going to Canada and you buy Canadian shares, and all the shares I recommended are Canadian, you do have shares that are traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So that is a consideration for diversification. But I personally wouldn't put that whole nest egg into silver. I'd split it up. And I think you should seriously consider doing that. You're an American citizen, and going to Canada could cause you some unknown problems that you'll have to look into regarding as a foreigner living in Canada and owning that much gold and silver. I don't know if there's any rules at all. I'm just saying look into it. I don't know that what exactly Canada's going to do. I do not think any confiscation will take place. And the reason why is, in both countries, less than 3% of the population own gold and silver, coins or bullion. And I don't think they're going to bother with the public. They're going to be trying to pull the wool over their eyes with a number of other things, never mind trying to take a few gold or silver coins from them. If they want gold and silver, but particularly gold, they would go to the ETF, GLD, and say, look, you're going to sell us all your gold today, well, this is what we're going to give you for it, and that's the end of it. And they would also do that with companies like Goldline that had lots of gold offshore that belonged to American citizens. But I do not see any confiscation. And I think you're dead wrong in thinking so. And I take issue with all of the writers that talk about it because they don't know what they're talking about. In the 1930s, everybody carried around gold coins. Today, 70% of the population doesn't even know that gold coins actually exist. Never mind own them. What do you think, Melody?
Well, I think confiscation is a topic that's going to be debated until one or the other happens. But I tell my customers it's important to know about it. But when you're looking to make an investment, that should not be the main factor. I mean, the same way when you're looking to buy spendable material, that shouldn't be the only criteria. I mean, not only do you want to cover those bases, but this is still an investment. And you have to approach your purchasing with everything in mind. Do not allow the discussions and the fear tactics move you to any one area of coins, regardless of what it is, whether the people who sell foreign gold, because it's dated pre-33. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So, you have to look at your investment and your funds and look at it and be diversified. And you take all the factors out and you look at the fundamentals and the way they have performed and the past performances of certain areas to make your decisions on what you should be purchasing.
I think that's well said. I'd like to interject here. I've just got the closing prices, and very quickly, Agnico was up 1.3%, Goldcorp 0.68%, Mindfinder is up 1.13%, and SSRI was up 4.05%. And Helex closed at 48.5. And considering the volatility in the market, I thought the shares did quite well today. Incidentally, I have 3 or 4 questions that came in. So
I just want to say one thing also about silver. I know sometimes we talk about silver because my ratio is 80%, 20%, and that can be adjusted in whatever your investment objective is too, whatever the client's. I like silver, but I don't get caught up with the promises of these huge gains that you're going to see in the future. Again, you have to look back. Yes, I believe it's very important. Everybody should have silver in their portfolios. Now, I like to buy gold now while it's still affordable. People can usually still buy silver when it's $18 or $19. It's a little more difficult to buy your gold when it's at $1,200 and $1,300. So I do encourage get your gold purchasing first, but you can always add silver when you're making an order. You can add it as a filler. I mean, you can always, as long as it's available, you can still continue to purchase it in the coins and so forth. So it's a little bit easier to pick up now than what your gold is. But silver is very important to have. But again, we always look at the fundamentals because the key thing you want to do is you're preserving your purchasing power. Here's a question for you, Bob. According to China Daily News, the national flag of the People's Republic of China will be hoisted at the South Lawn of the White House in Washington on September 20th. Chinese associations in the U.S. had applied to hold a ceremony in front of the U.S. President's residence to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the founding of